My name's Michael O'Boyle. I'm a Grade 1 conservation architect, and I work on all kinds of older and historic buildings, ranging from 18th, 19th century buildings to much earlier ruins like Rahara Church here behind me. And my job when I'm dealing with a building like this is to firstly analyse the condition of the building, identify the problems. In this case, there was a lot of ivy on the building, there were structural cracks, there was areas of unstable masonry. And we drew up a plan of attack, which, working with Roscommon County Council, became the genesis of a grant application. And we were lucky enough then to get funding under the Community Monument Scheme. And we drew up a programme of works, which I oversaw, which set out how those problems would be dealt with. The first thing we did was we gave the entire building a haircut. We removed all the ivy, killed it right back, cut the ivy off the stone, so that we could see what the problems with the fabric of the walls were. And we then drew up a specification dealing with the buildings. And I'll show you some of the key things we did now. So this arched opening survives, which was fantastic, but it was missing the two stones at the bottom. Now this stone here, we managed to find. It was buried underneath grass and we were able to retrieve it. This other stone was completely missing. So part of the job of the stonemason was to cut that stone to size and reintroduce this stone and consolidate the stone rubble around it. So now we have this arch opening, it's conserved and it's secure. So this corner of the ruined church was completely covered with ivy when I first started looking at the building and the structure. So after we gave the building the haircut and we cut the ivy back, we found this stone carved head, which is really very beautiful and very intact. We're not sure exactly what the purpose of it was, whether it was a religious figure or something to do with the mason at the time that the church was built, but it's wonderful to have it exposed and now part of the experience for people who come to visit Rahara. So this whole outer corner here of the ruin had collapsed and was missing when we started, and we were very, very concerned about the stability of this. So I suppose one of the things when you're a conservation architect, you work with other disciplines. In this particular instance, I worked very closely with Jose Posveda, who's an structural engineer who's experienced working on historic buildings, and we very carefully stitched together and rebuilt the corner, and we introduced some stainless steel ties so it's sort of connected into the two walls, and it's strengthening the corner of the building. That's really important because the top gable, which is a very key part of this ruin, was quite unstable, and we needed to get this corner solid before we could tackle the works to the gable. So the gable here in Rahara Church, it's an amazing survival, and you can see the remains of a cut stone detailing on the window reveal. But unfortunately the gable was leaning very severely outwards, and we were concerned that it would eventually collapse into the graveyards or the graves immediately below it. So it was critical that we actually consolidate and stabilise that gable. I've mentioned that the corner was insecure, and we consolidated that. We then had to dismantle the top 2 meters of the gable. We built a scaffolding, we propped the lower part, and we numbered each stone. We brought it onto a platform and then very carefully reconstructed it. And you can see that it's slightly, the bit we reconstructed at the top leans slightly back against the outward lean to try and move the centre of the gravity of the wall a little bit more into the centre of the structure, and that gives stability. We also introduced stainless steel reinforcement, which kind of ties the whole gable together and makes it stronger. So that's a quick overview of the works that we've completed here in Rahara. It's now at the end of the first week in March, and the works are now more or less complete. There's tidying up to be done and dismantling of, I suppose, the site compound here. It's been a great project to work on. It's really collaboration between a large number of people. I suppose first and foremost, it's a community project. I had the pleasure of meeting the local team here who were very keen to get this project moving. That was a really good day. Collaboration with Roscommon County Council and their Heritage Officer, Nolik Feeney, A very talented team of stonemasons, some of whom are from the area locally here. I mentioned the engineer. I also worked closely with the ecologist, who made sure that we didn't disturb any roosting habitats for the bats, and also the archaeologists in areas where we were disturbing the ground, that we weren't disturbing anything that was valuable. So it's a team effort, and I think the outcome speaks for itself. It's really been a pleasure to work on it, and I think we're all very happy with the outcome. Thank you.